Welcome to the 202nd episode of Maryland's Missing and the Murdered. Maryland's Missing and the Murdered is a weekly YouTube channel that covers the topic of missing and or murdered individuals from the state of Maryland. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified when the next cases are released. On June 24th, 2008, 46-year-old Vilma Butler was at home in Bowie, Maryland, when an intruder broke in. Vilma was shot to death, her home was ransacked, and then it was set on fire. Police investigating were unable to find any evidence from the perpetrator, and the case grew cold. On January 26, 2009, at 2 a.m. in Largo, Maryland, 16-year-old Karissa Lofton called 911 to get help, as her and her 45-year-old mother, Karen Lofton, had been shot in their home. When police arrived, there was no sign of forced entry. However, one of the windows were unlocked. An officer climbed through the window and let other officers into the home. Unfortunately, by the time they arrived, Karissa and Karen were deceased in their bedrooms. The home security system had gone off that night, but it had been turned off within minutes. Almost 2 months later, on March 16, 2009, in Largo, Maryland, a stolen car had been set on fire in the 4 a.m. hour. When authorities responded to the fire, they found 2 bodies in the burned car. One was laying in the back seat and the other was in the trunk. Earlier in that day, a mother and daughter were reported missing in the area. They were reported missing by a family member at 10 p.m. They were 19-year-old Ebony Dewitt and her mother, 42-year-old Delores Dewitt. The next day, on March 17th, dental records identified the bodies in the car as being the Dewitts. Autopsies determined that both had been strangled. On July 1st, 2009, Jason Thomas Scott attempted to sell a gun to a federal informant. The gun had been stolen, so authorities got a search warrant for Jason Scott's home. The warrant recovered 40 guns in his room, fire-starting items, other stolen items, and hard drives. During questioning for the stolen items and the guns, Jason Scott told police that he and his friend Marcus Hunter were involved, and then he gave them a list of addresses where he committed the robberies. When police realized that they were committing robberies in the same neighborhoods of the murders, their interest was piqued. Marcus Hunter came in for questioning, and he stated that he and Jason would hide stuff they stole in an abandoned house. He also stated that Jason had taken a gun from their hiding spot in the abandoned house. This gun in question was the gun used in killing the Loftons. And when police searched the abandoned house, they found evidence that the Dewitts had been there. Jason Scott was arrested on July 27, 2010. In researching Jason Scott's life, police discovered that he grew up in a loving, stable home. But when he got older, he began stealing movies and video games. He would then sell them for money, but Jason got greedy and he wanted more money. That was when he began to commit armed home invasions. Jason worked part-time for UPS, and that was where he got information on future victims. He even went as far as to watch forensic TV shows, which helped him avoid detection. For 2 years, he committed 29 burglaries, 9 home invasions, and committed a sex crime on a minor. In federal court, Jason Scott was convicted on 11 federal charges, including possession of a stolen gun and creating child pornography. That charge was based on the hard drive that was found in Jason Scott's room. During a home invasion, he videotaped his sexual assault on a 17-year-old. For the federal charges, he was sentenced to 100 years in prison. On September 25, 2013, Jason Scott entered an Alford plea for the Dewitt murders. In exchange for that Alford plea, the murder charges for the Loftons and Vilma Butler were dropped. Jason Scott is currently imprisoned in a U.S. penitentiary in Arizona. His release date is in 2073. Thank you for joining me this week. If there's a Maryland's Missing or Murder case you'd like to see on this channel, email me at marylandsmissing@gmail.com. Twitter is Maryland's M&M. Music is by Silent Vengeance. Sources will be listed in the outro. I'll see you again next week. Be kind to one another. You never know what will happen tomorrow.